Hey, Totes heads, it's Dan, your favorite Dan, here before the show to remind you about the way you feel about me, which is full of respect. And right back at you, I have respect for you. Speaking of respect, it's almost Respect Listener Opinions Month, the very special month where you pick the movie. So right now, you can go to respect.totesregal.com. There will be a form, and you can nominate movies for Respect Listener Opinion Month, also known as Rom Noms. And then starting April 2nd, go back to respect.totesregal.com and you will be able to vote on everything nominated, unless we hate it. And the winner will win and be watched for our May episode. Thank you very much. Once again, that is respect.totesregal.com, and I am the best Dan. Bye.
Damn it.
Totes Recall.
Welcome to Totes Recall, the podcast where we talk about a movie we can't remember very well, and then we pause the recording. We watch the movie while eating 2 pizzas and 2 salads. Thank you, patrons. Come back for the second half of our recording. Now we have watched the movie very recently, and we remember it pretty well. How does it hold up now? What do we get right and wrong? That's some of the things we explore in the second half. My name is Dan.
This is Molly.
I'm also Dan.
And I'm Beth.
And our movie this very special episode
What's special about it?
Oh, it's March, baby, and time marches on, and this movie's got a lot of words in the title.
You're not going to mention basketball at all?
It's madness out there.
There we go.
March Madness. Go Badgers. There probably won't be very good, but that's where I went to grad school. University of Wisconsin, Madison.
Gosh, get back on track.
Get back on track.
Did we say the name of the movie?
Nope, you
Sorry.
interrupted me. Don't tell Mom the Babysitter's dead.
Wow.
Don't tell March the Babysitter's
Basketball. The movie is Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, a movie that exists.
I have not seen it.
I have also not seen it.
But I do remember the trailer.
Yes, this is right in my brain. I loved this movie, and I am the right aged kid to have enjoyed it.
Perfect.
I have a theory that I saw it once.
Ooh, I like that.
Me too.
I remember going to sleep over at my cousin's house.
Nice.
Which is the cousin that used to live by Dan.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Don't talk to me.
Yep. So I had a sleepover.
But neither of you live there anymore, right?
We won't go into it.
All right.
I don't.
But I went over there and we watched a movie that wasn't an animated movie, and so I was like, this is dumb. But I think this is what we watched. But I don't really remember any context or anything that happened in it, so it might not be that movie at all.
Perfect.
Yes.
Well, I hate to do this to us.
Yeah, I
but,
do too.
We must stand strong for the unions and do Totes Pre-Call, and the only one that can time this segment is Molly.
Yep.
Yes.
That the three of us.
Oh, but her phone's plugged in, so I'll do it.
No, give me your phone.
Yeah.
I will do it.
Yes.
Beth has to guess too. She doesn't
Producer
know anything.
Beth.
Can't argue with the producer.
Incredible.
And the producer
10
is
seconds.
Oh.
30 seconds.
Don't tell Pod the phone is plugged. Don't tell Maul the phone is plugged in.
Yep, it works.
The phone's battery was dead. Now it's
Oh,
plugged
there
in.
it is.
Is everyone ready?
So ready.
Okay, 60 seconds are on the
You
clock.
can write down notes, Molly.
Go.
We open on suburban Los Angeles, California.
Someone shoots a plate with a gun, and that's what I remember.
This house is full of rowdy goddamn kids.
Oh, they say, dishes are done, dude.
There is a frazzled parent.
Christina Applegate.
Is the parent?
She's the head teen.
Okay.
And is she good teen? No, she's bad teen.
Aren't they all bad teens?
Well, there's probably got to be some good younger kids.
Oh,
There's
sure.
so many kids.
Mom's busy. Mom's
30
got to
seconds.
go.
The babysitter's dead.
Well, the babysitter has to come to the house first, right?
Old babysitter comes, has a heart attack's dead.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Or wacky Rube Goldberg accident.
They eat a lot of pizza.
Okay.
And in the end, are we there?
No.
Mom?
Beth, do you want to contribute anything?
10 seconds.
Where's Dad in this?
Dead.
Dad's also dead.
By the very hands that killed the babysitter.
Wow. Mom's on a business trip. Did we say
For
that?
murder.
Yeah, they're assassins.
Wow.
I feel like
Assassin.
Dan and I got locked into a very, very specific mutual energy, and we maybe got a bit off the rails.
I honestly, at a certain point, I was paying such close attention to the time because I take that job very seriously. Unlike
And we
other
thank
people.
you for
We
it.
respect you for that. Yeah.
But you were just listing off words, and I don't know what you actually said.
LA suburbs, shoots plate, dishes are done, dude. Christina Applegate is a bad teen. There are a bunch of kids. Some of them might be good kids. Mom's busy. She's on a business trip. Old babysitter dies, possibly at the hands of the same person who killed the dad. There's a lot of pizza in it, and the mom and dad are secret assassins.
Yeah.
Well, they're assassins.
The
I don't know
dad's
if it's a
dead.
secret.
Okay.
The mom's an assassin.
Killed on duty, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I can add a few details to this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
One, I remember specifically that the mom is going to Australia.
What?
Oh, wow.
On a
That's-
business trip?
I think so.
That's far away.
Or
And
is
she's
it on a,
wearing
I can't deal with it anymore, mom trip?
No, it's my memory is she's going on a, I think
She on,
a
like
leash.
a walkabout?
I don't know, but she's
You
wearing
find
a
yourself?
floppy hat.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that checks out.
But she's hired a babysitter for the 2 weeks she'll be gone.
2 weeks.
Wow.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, is it a nanny?
Mm,
Wow.
Well,
like a temporary nanny.
Temp nanny.
Temp nan.
I guess in my head, a babysitter is very, very temporary.
I guess so. Well, this is not a recurring baby. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it is someone that they know. At any rate, she's supposed to be there for 2 weeks. She shows up. The kids are all very rowdy and out of control.
Of course.
And she passes away. I don't believe at the hand of an assassin, but
We'll see.
I'm open.
There's a lot of kids, though, right? Is this one family?
It's one family with, I think, 3 kids, maybe 4.
Oh, wow.
Are there like rowdy neighbor friends or
Maybe
something?
there's neighbor friends.
I remember there's the oldest boy is the most rowdy.
Mm.
And then I think there are 2 younger siblings. I think it's 4 total. And the siblings are kind of mischievous. And at some point, the real maturing process comes into play for the 2 oldest with the younger kids kind of.
Oh, and they got to be,
Ooh, Dan's bet.
they got to cool down.
Dan's bet. One of the young children either gets injured or nearly gets severely injured, and they have to cool it. The older ones have to cool it and get real to protect their siblings.
Yeah, that sounds right. I feel like there's got to be a charade at some point. Someone comes to the door, ding dong.
Oh, sure.
Is your mom home? No. Or yes.
And
I
it's
don't
like
know,
a
they gotta-
Mrs. Doubtfire, like, hello.
Yeah, cream on the face.
Yeah. Great.
Ba-dee-da-dee. Sorry.
What?
One thing I love about this movie, or at least my memory of this movie, is how it was just such an epic time of 80s movies with like the whole latchkey kid.
So this came out in the 80s?
I think it came out in the 80s, maybe the late 80s.
This feels like
It's
a
88?
91 to me.
I'm saying 90 period.
I feel like there are flannels tied around waists. I feel like
Nice.
we've made it there, but just barely.
Okay, that's great. I'm going to stick with 88 because that's what I said originally.
I respect that.
I'll say 89.
Yeah.
Year of my birth.
Oh, don't tell Beth the baby's been born.
Okay.
Don't tell Beth.
Don't tell Mom.
Mom should, but Mom would know.
Mom
Mom
has a
would
good idea.
definitely know.
Don't tell Dad.
Don't tell Beth's nemesis.
Yes.
Anne
Don't tell
Hathaway.
don't tell the assassins.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the things that I love about this movie is it's part of that like tradition of kids just being on their own and
Yeah.
figuring stuff out, like Goonies or Stand by Me, or I think there are a
I
lot
Shrunk the Kids.
like that.
Home
Honey, I
Alone.
Shrunk the Kids, yeah, where you get the parents out of a way in a way that doesn't require death.
Except
And-
in this case.
Except in this case, I mean, the babysitter who you barely
Doesn't
know.
require the parents being dead.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
exactly.
Who cares about this working woman?
She's probably old.
She's
anyway.
probably, yeah.
She is
garbage.
old, but I bet it'll be funny to watch because I wonder if she's actually like 50 or 60.
Yeah.
And at the time, you're like, ugh.
What do
Yeah.
they do with the body?
Great question.
Well, that's a great question.
Body's buried, dude.
Yeah. That's the only thing I remember. I feel like I saw the trailer on TV a lot.
Nice.
And there's like old teen shoots guns on the roof, shoots a plate, and says, "The dishes are done, dude." Because we used to say "dishes are done, dude," my brother and I, to each other all the time. And I feel pretty confident we didn't see this movie.
Amazing.
But that'll be a big reveal if I'm like, "Oh, I have."
Yeah, that'd be great. I think I remember the poster / VHS cover art to this, where it's like the teens are on a open front porch, and there are the raised feet of a corpse in front of them, and they're all looking. I bet one of them is looking shocked. One of them is just looking like, hey, because they're like the fun teen, you know. And then there's like a little kid.
Yeah, there's like a spacey, dirty, younger sibling who I feel like looks like the kid from Aliens.
Okay.
Hot bet, same kid. Real hot.
That's a real hot bet because I don't know that he did multiple roles.
She? Isn't there a girl
Drew
in Aliens?
Barrymore?
Newt.
Not E.T. Aliens.
Oh,
Newt.
Aliens.
Newt.
I said aliens, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I heard E.T., so
Listen, if it's Drew Barrymore, also a fun surprise.
That would be very surprising.
I feel like we'll recognize a bunch of people in this movie that we forgot that we...
Like Skeet Ulrich.
No, he's like way later, right?
Is he?
Oh.
Ugh, I'll look up Skeet.
I mean, make sure you look up Skeet Ulrich.
Put the Ulrich
full
in there.
name.
I'll be like, yeah, they shot some plates. I don't get it.
Okay.
Yeah, they shot something.
We'll keep moving on.
Ropes.
Oh boy, no. We're
Incredible
not
Law
going.
Manager. Okay, speaking of that, there's
part?
got to be some horny teens in
There's
this, right?
got to be at least one horny teen.
Christina Applegate probably has a boyfriend. And if not,
I think
call
she
me.
wears a leather jacket at some point.
Oh, yeah.
So she probably like invites him over because it's like the rule is he can't come over,
Yeah.
and then it's like the babysitter's dead.
Let's bang.
Now
Let's
he's
bang.
gonna come over.
Yeah.
But then,
Pre-Clueless? I feel like this might be pre-Clueless.
What are you talking about?
yeah, probably.
Isn't that Applegate?
No.
No.
Who's that?
Alicia Silverstone.
Oh, shit. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
You're all over the. You're all over the place.
Applegate's Hand of the Pants TV show?
Yes.
Married with Children.
Married with
Yes.
Children.
Yeah,
Yep.
thank you. Thank you for
Hand in the
getting
pants.
Yeah. What's his name? Was always had his hand.
Al
in his-
Bundy would always
Al
stick his hand in
Bundy.
his pants.
Oh, okay.
Ed O'Neill.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, am I right? Is it good? Well, I guess we'll find out.
What is your question?
Is this Christina Applegate or is this Alicia Silverstone?
Oh, that's not even a question, though. Do you really want to make a bet?
That is a question. I already bet it was Applegate.
Well, and we already said, like, at the very beginning, top of the thing, it was Christina Applegate.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I get in trouble for hearing E.T.
And whose belly ring bungee cord Aerosmith?
What?
I just don't know what it. These are
Are
just
you
words.
now back to Alicia Silverstone?
That's the question. Am I?
Maybe.
Wait.
If you're trying to
Say the
describe
words again.
who appeared in the Aerosmith video, then yes, Alicia Silverstone.
Great. Thank
Or
you.
it's another video and it's Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
No. That's Armageddon video, right?
I don't know. I feel like she was
Liv
in an earlier
Tyler-
one.
She might have been. But anyway, okay.
Molly and I are on the same page. Thank you.
I guess so.
We are.
And do we think it'll pass Bechdel? I think it
Ooh,
will.
I
think
hope
it will
so.
too.
I'm
Actually.
gonna say yes.
I feel like mom or babysitter has to be named.
Yeah.
And Christina Applegate will be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And then she'll be like, blah, blah, blah. And then die.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm pretty sure the mom calls at some point, right?
Okay.
They
Because
got a
they-
call and everybody's like, "Be cool, it's mom."
Yeah.
They say, "Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead."
Are they going to name check the
Oh,
movie?
I hope they name check the movie.
I'm going to bet they do.
Nice.
Thank you, Molly. You're doing a great job on notes.
Dan's bet there is a fun pooch hanging out with the little kid.
Oh, fun pooch.
Yeah.
By that you mean dog?
Yeah.
Great.
What did you think I meant?
I don't know. Listen, you take nothing for granted on this podcast.
Fair.
I'm writing down fun pooch.
Nice. I bet it like eats something it's not supposed to because it's on the floor because they're pigs.
So is like the drama? I mean, I realize the babysitter's dead, but is the
Don't tell mom,
drama
though.
right?
That's the drama.
That they are just trying to survive and there's like, teenage chaos happening? Or is it like there's something more sinister happening and then they
Wet
have
bandits?
to, yeah.
Oh,
The wet bandits show
real
up?
estate squeeze?
Oh, that's a great guess.
Corrupt police.
Well, I feel like I mean,
it feels like there's gotta
there
be
is some
plot.
hazard. There is some reason they want to hide the fact that their mom is missing and the babysitter is missing. It's at least twofold. I think there's a big party at the end. I think they're looking to throw a big party.
Okay.
Dan's
And I'm
bet.
pretty sure the mom comes home.
Nosy neighbor.
Nosy
That is
neighbor.
part of the
Oh.
challenge.
That's going to be a character actor.
They
we
got to
recognize.
keep that nosy neighbor from figuring out the babysitter's not
like
there.
off-brand Daniel Stern.
Okay.
I'm not going to write that down.
Okay, I will.
Okay, great. Big party. Mom comes home early.
Nice.
And I think mom gets some comeuppance.
Oh.
I think there's
Mom
some.
gets
I think
comeuppance.
the mom gets like a, yeah, well, you weren't here.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Because mom is kind of like flaky.
I don't know that she's flaky.
She's a single
think
mother
she's
trying to be an assassin.
Yeah.
yeah, I think she is a single mother.
Assassin.
And she feels that she needs to go to Australia for some reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
but
saying
yeah, there's
walkabout. Is that the term?
I don't know.
it is a term, but I don't think that's her. I don't remember why she's going, but it seems important to her. It's like a convention or business thing, I think.
But maybe it's a business thing that is also a cover for finding a new dad.
Oh, she's going to like a singles down under?
Or like she already
Thunder Down
knows, she
Under?
already met somebody. She already met some Thunder Down Under. And she's like
What?
trying to like sneakily keep that relationship going. And he's like, "Yeah, why don't you come on down to my place? We'll get to know each other, and then I'll come meet your
Oh,
kids."
crikey, fly into Perth and we'll go on a bit out into the bush.
Yeah, I'll teach you all about exotic poisons you can put on a string that you then dangle over your target while he's sleeping in his four-poster bed. I'm also an assassin, of course. Crikey.
Watch out for the kangaroos, they'll punch you right in the nose.
Ew, don't let that Sherlock Sherlock. Oh, how would they say that? Oh my
wish I
God.
had taken video of just
Sure.
Beth's
Herms.
reactions.
It's just the worst accent I've ever.
How dare you?
It's just
me,
rubbing her
Sherlock
face.
Sherlock Holmes.
Nope.
No, Sherlock's not Australian.
Okay, all right.
What if he was? That's a reboot we need.
Yeah, we should do that.
Like Sherlock Holmes Crocodile Hunter?
Molly's bet is that Christina Applegate.
Here, Watson, what's all this then?
Christina Applegate like gets a job and she
Oh,
actually
wow.
is successful. This is my memory. I don't know if it's true.
Like a business job?
Like she pretends to be older?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. She pretends to be older. She gets a job in fashion. She
Oh.
solves a problem using her know-how.
Wow.
It all culminates with not a big party, but like a big fashion show with like
Holy
art
shit.
dealer, not
Wow.
art dealers, but like
They
a
throw it at their
business
house?
happening at their house.
What?
And her mom comes home and is like, "Young lady," and Christina Applegate is like, "While you were gone, look what's happened." And she points out how everyone has grown and done better in her mom's absence. So what you going to say about that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think that's what stuck in my mind because all of the movies that I really enjoyed, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off and others, had some moment where the teen tells off the parent.
Yeah.
And it was delightful.
And then a beautiful man steps in front and is like, "Oh, good day. I'm your new father.
That's not
can
a
call me
babysitter.
Rick.
I'm a babysitter.
Hey, what's this fashion? You got some sort of fashion show happening?"
What?
like, what is happening?
What is that accent?
I'm trying.
It's
It's
Australian.
clearly Australian.
Australia Day.
This movie's gonna rule. I'm looking forward to that Australian dude.
Yeah. Speaking of the thing that rule, Molly, what are the rules for our rating scale?
Ooh, nice.
Dishes are done, dude. Assassin pack.
Wow.
It's really a long thing for
I
me to
gotta
write down.
unpack this. Dishes are done. So dishes are done, dude. Is like the brand. Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's like the addition of an assassin pack. Assassin, like you have your normal
Is this
assassin
like
pack.
DLC for Assassin's Creed?
Oh, all right. Now I'm very
Like weaponized flatware that you can throw at your
okay,
enemies?
almost like a shuriken, but a plate.
like a big plate.
Toss it, and it beheads your enemy.
Yeah. Ooh, and then it comes back like Xena's fucking
Oh,
sharp
yeah, her
ring.
chakram.
That's what it's called?
I think so.
Chakram?
That's how I say it in my head. Shakram. Ooh, here in the bush, it's a bit like a boomerang.
Lucy Larlers.
It's your Chakram. Hey, Kevin Serbo. Why don't you go stick your head in the didgeridoo?
Go fuck yourself, Kevin Serbo.
It's just getting more
like
and more.
Swedish Chef.
It's just so far away. It's not even.
You might say it's halfway around the world.
It's very good and it works.
Yeah. You guys are going to be eating crow when the Australian actor shows up at the end of this movie and sounds exactly like Dan and I.
That's right. All right. Well, I think we understand the rating scale.
It's a DLC for the Assassin's Creed franchise.
Yeah. That's dishes are due.
Where you throw...
Late breaking bet, his name is Tim.
Beth's name is Tim?
No,
Australia.
the Australian dude. His name is Tim.
Hello, it's me, Tim. I took an international fleet.
What? Oh, even I got lost on that one.
He's got coming back. Bill's Beach.
We'll get him when he comes back in.
Is that from Point Break?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay, speaking of breaking points.
How many points will you break off of your point stack and give to this movie? Dan, you go first.
I do go first because I am the best and also I deserve it. I never seen this movie. I don't know anything about this movie other than it just seems like one of those like movies from the late 80s, early 90s where like there's just a thin veneer of morality that allows the most bonkers premises to occur. So I think it's going to be like darker than we expect in certain moments, but then also like stupider than we're prepared for in other moments. So I think it's going to be a real roller coaster ride, but I bet it'll be fun. Bananas bonkers. So I'll say 4.
Dishes are done, dude.
Assassin Packs. Check it out on Xbox Pass.
Yeah.
Whatever.
From Ubisoft. Beth, you're second, as we all know.
I gotta say, this first half like has just. I'm like, is my brain functioning still? Just words are being thrown at me.
You can cut out as much of this as you want.
Yeah, if you want the whole half just to be Australian accents,
Respect.
that's okay.
Respect.
And Dan and I can come back in and record some more.
Absolutely.
Yes,
We can do some, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I think this is going to be a fun movie. I was real grumpy about it when I was a kid because it was, I think, a little bit too grown up for me at that point in time. So, like, it was more for teens and I was a child.
Totally.
So now that I'm a teen,
A 35-year-old teen.
I'm going to really like it. So I'm going to say 4.
Great. I am third. I was very amused by the trailer as a kid, but I don't remember being like longing to see it either. I just remember saying the dishes are done, dude, over and over.
Amazing.
That's the main thing to my life and this movie. I guess I'm going to go 4. It seems like it could be fun and have chaotic 90s energy because it's like unpolished. Like the title speaks volumes, right?
Yeah, it does.
Like it's a whole sentence, and I appreciate that energy. So I think it's got potential. Molly, you're last, but not least.
Thank you. I know I am last, and I am going now. I would say I am feeling a little vulnerable in this moment because I loved this movie when I was a kid, and I'm worried it won't hold up or y'all won't like it as much as I do. So I'm going to give it a protective 4.
Nice.
Dishes are done, dude. Assassin Packs, and hope for the best. And with that, we're going to pause, go watch Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, and we'll be right back.
Hey, listeners, it's me, Dan, the best Dan there is of all time. Podcasting, cooking, mid-rolling,
Jesus.
Wow.
friendship,
Give me something.
comedy, not dog owning.
Okay. Nice.
Coming at you with the mid-roll. This is a very special month because it's 2 months before We Respect You.
Yay.
Oh,
Right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
it's March. May, as you may know, is Respect Listener Opinion Month, the month in which you, listener, get to pick the movie.
Wow.
And here's how that process works. Starting now.
Whoa.
If you go to respect.totesregal.com, there will be a form.
Ooh.
You can fill out that form and give us what we call Relam Noms, which are Respect Listener Opinion Month nominations.
Yeah, I think that was clear.
Yeah. We will gather all those Relam Noms.
Wow.
And then starting on April
April
2nd, not April 1st, so you know it's not a joke, at that same URL, because we have the power to change where things go, respect.totesregal.com, there will now be a poll, and you can vote on the Relam Noms.
Wow.
And the winner of that poll, like every democracy, wins.
Okay.
And now, how many times can I fill out that poll?
The poll or the nom form?
So I assume I can Relam nom as many noms as I want.
Yes, you can nom from here until April 2nd.
Noms do.
Great.
Or maybe
but
slightly
then when it
before.
comes time to vote, how many times do I vote?
Please vote one time for as many movies as you would like.
Oh.
You'll have the option to check as many movies and then submit the form one time.
Yes. We'll know when you submitted a bunch of times.
We'll know.
And we throw those out. And I'm grumpy about it.
And I don't respect you.
Yes. We're trying to respect you, so also respect us. I don't want to click on the button that says you have to log in, but I will. You can keep multi-voting, you ballot box stuffers.
That's right.
Anyway, this is a fun time where we respect you.
Yeah, this is just for fun. This is all for fun. This thing where we need you to do something very exactly correct is for fun.
The poll will be open from April 2nd until April 8th.
Nice.
So a little bit of a short window, but not as short as if you just had to vote on one day.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
And like you wouldn't even get you can't even like take work off.
Yeah.
Right.
By
And
default.
And you can take work off to vote for the Respect Listener
Absolutely.
Opinion
Listen, if
Month
you're still
poll.
in line on April 8th, you stay in line
Yeah.
Yes.
until you're able to vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at midnight or whenever we remember, the poll will close.
That's right.
And then we will find the winner and watch it, and it will be our May episode, and we love it.
And we're so grateful.
That's it. Any questions? Give us a call. 612-808-9. The last letters don't matter, but you do.
Duties and butt.
Back to the show.
Whoa!
And we're back. We just watched 1 hour and 45 minutes of the very best that 1991 has to offer.
Wow. The year, I guess, nailed it.
Wow.
Cool.
Impressive.
Very nice.
Although I believe I anchored my bet in this would be flannels tied around the waist era, and it is not.
So close.
Yeah.
So close.
Yeah, it's really, seeped. I mean, I guess it was mostly filmed in 1990,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it certainly feels that way. The clothes are like,
It is pre-grunge.
yeah.
Or at
As
least-
far as
at least-
popular culture
yeah.
is concerned.
gonna
It's
say.
still like shoulder pad hangover,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
floppy pants.
I mean if this movie had taken place like a few like a few hours north, maybe the Burnout Friends would have
Sure.
been wearing flannels.
Yeah.
But 1991 LA.
No.
Nah.
How is the? Oh well, I'll wait. Go ahead, Dan. I see you're ready.
What are you ready for, buddy?
60-second summary is a segment we do. And it's where we summarize the movie we've just watched in 60 seconds exactly. The movie is Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. The traditional manner of this segment is that I volunteer.
I'll do it.
Wow.
Great. Does this win awards?
So many awards.
Okay.
Too many to count,
Great.
so I won't do it.
Great. Molly, are you ready?
Yes.
Go.
We open on an animated segment for the titles. Then we see a house in disarray, a mom who's cranky and out of touch with her kids and seems a little irresponsible, about to leave for 2 months on a trip to Australia to be at a sheep farm with her boyfriend. She leaves her children with a babysitter who appears to be kind but turns out to be mean. She blows a whistle. She puts on rules. She harshes all of their mellows. And then she
30
dies
seconds.
from exposure to posters in a boy's bedroom. And and then Christina Applegate has to get a real job. At first she gets a job at a place with a dreamy guy named Josh Charles, who's the actor's name, but the character's name is Brian. Anyway, she has a dreamy crush. And she works at this corporation.
10 seconds.
And Forrest Gumps her way all the way to the top. And at the pinnacle is a fashion show where she gets busted by Brian, her boyfriend, and her mom and her boss.
Time.
Wow.
And there's a dog.
No, we're not getting any awards for that shit. Are you kidding me?
65 seconds.
Get in the penalty box.
Still 100%.
Of course, absolutely. No question.
100%.
But and despite the ratio in the 60-second summary, the majority of this movie is her figuring out how to be a career woman and support her family. While parallel, Kenny, the burnout brother, gets on board eventually and is learning to be a couple at home. Not in that way, but also kind of.
But also
like a domestic
their
partnership
relationship is
of
confused.
child rearing.
It's got some good beats to
It's
it.
an LOL.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenny. Sorry.
I would say the babysitter dies
So fast.
They get right to it.
I thought it was going to be like 20 minutes of just like, it's so hard dealing with what's her name. And then I don't know.
Yeah, basically the first night, right?
Yeah.
Mom leaves, transformation from nice lady to tweeting
Evil.
She stomps her cane at Elvis the dog, who is a very good
Very
dog.
good corgi.
I think a Welsh corgi is my bet.
The best.
So she basically, she makes the like kind of grungy, tomboyish Melissa dress up like a what did she say? She said like sugar and spice. And she's wearing like a pink dress.
That's so bad.
Yeah. She makes them wear name tags. She has a chore chart.
But I think she dies so fast that Kenny, the burnout brother,
doesn't
never
even meet
meets
her.
her. Right?
No, not when she's alive.
She just sees his room and has a heart attack.
We were kind of joking because she's just like going around the house and like checking everything out. She goes into Kenny's room and is assaulted by filth and boobs and a big weed poster and an Iron Maiden poster with the cool skeleton guy who's like just vibing, man. And she like seems
so many nude pictures.
genuinely stressed about it.
Yes.
And then the next time we see her, she is dead.
Yeah.
So by all accounts, Kenny's decor killed her.
Yeah. And they move on from that
So fast.
to the point of at least Dan and I forgot about her by the end of the movie.
Yes.
I didn't forget at all because at the end of the movie, it's like, see, everything turned out for the best. I'm like, but the babysitter's still dead and they just left a corpse on the front steps of a mortuary.
Okay, but the mid-credits Marvel-style secret ending shows that those nice men at the moratorium did bury her.
Meritarium.
Let's go to moratorium.
Oh my gosh, there were no Australian accents.
Which is infuriating because there is literally discussion of a boyfriend with a sheep farm in Australia.
Never meet him.
Oh,
meet him.
I was furious.
And the phone calls from the mom were extremely brief.
So brief.
Yeah, she seems very disconnected. I would say even by like late 80s, early 90s standards.
Yeah.
But before we go on too much, because we were doing a really good job of sticking with the story for just a second. So it's an important plot twist, though, not only that the babysitter dies, but she has all the money for the summer on her. And so when they drop her off at the mortuary.
Let's take one step back. When they stuff her in her own trunk and then put a note on it that says like,
nice old lady inside died of natural causes. This is pretty good.
And they leave it. They also don't have any money for the entire summer.
Yeah.
And so that is the event that forces one of them to get a job. They flip a pizza box. Yes. Christina Applegate's character loses Swell or Sue Ellen.
Which took me too long to figure out.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I thought y'all were joking that you didn't understand.
Nope.
Well, I couldn't remember what her name was, and then everyone started calling her Swell all of a sudden, and I was like, who's Swell? But then you said it out loud, and then I was like,
it all clicked. Yeah. She basically, when she flips that pizza box, she essentially like transforms it into an entirely new movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. She
Like,
Freaky Fridays herself
yeah,
I mean,
into her mom.
sort of.
but a much better version of her mom, which I
Yes.
think is
I agree.
very
I
important.
agree.
I really thought that by the end of the movie, it was going to be like the mom comes home and it's like, oh, we get you now. Like, we see why you're so tired and why you needed 2 months to just like go
Bang
to
it out in a sheep farm.
I mean,
Yeah.
she's 37.
Yeah, she does say
Is she 37?
She's even much older.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that she was 37.
She's
but
had 5 kids, and the
That's-
dad seems like a real shitbag.
Apparently.
we never really learn about him.
They don't even
Because her oldest
consider
is
calling him.
17, so she would have had kids starting at 21. So she wouldn't have had much of a time to
Go
be
to
free.
Australia and
Bang it out.
Probably never went to the
get
beach.
down to Sheeptown.
What?
I'll work on it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Bang it.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, but then
Crikey, it's bag time.
Oh, no.
yeah.
Will they do it? There you
Yep.
go.
Oh, okay,
What?
got it.
Will they do? Ooh,
Yeah,
I
there you
love
go.
that.
Bang.
Will they bang? Crikey. You want to come share some sheep with me in my acreage? Oh, that's so not good at all.
It's
Hello, it's me, Hugh Jackman. I'm here to. I'm the lead in Oklahoma. I is.
what's going on.
All right, it's me, Nicole Kidman, actor opposite you, Hugh Jackman.
Oh, fiddly-dee, it's me, Jeffrey Rush, coming up.
Have you ever heard an Australian accent before?
See, I am one of the Hemsworths.
Oh my gosh. Where
Don't tell
were we?
mom the babysitter's dead. Never gets the full name of the movie spoken, but
No,
But
it is
babysitter's
Mom.
dead.
And Don't Tell Mom, I think must come up somewhere,
Yeah.
but separately.
They say They say something about like, I don't want mom to come back. I don't know if they ever say like, don't tell her.
All right, fine.
But so much of the movie is Applegate navigating corporate life.
Yes,
Yeah.
way
A
more than
shocking amount.
anticipated.
It's just, I have not seen this movie and is not at all what I expected it.
Not at all.
There's like it's not really about kids left alone shenanigans.
Yeah, there's like a couple, but they almost feel like obligatory, right? There's like a quick scene of like, oh, the kid who likes TV spends a bunch of money on an entertainment center.
Yeah, but it's all to further like now they're in a panic about their economic
Yeah.
situation and they need to work overtime.
Yeah.
Or Christina does.
Well, yeah, because
Swell.
for those kids to undergo such a huge transformation, it has to be a big push on them, right?
Yeah.
Like,
No, I think all of the things
I
make
think it
sense.
makes
It just-
sense. Yeah, I really, the thing I enjoyed the most, the thing I enjoyed the most was remembering why I had such a crush on the actor who plays Brian. Because he was in,
Westwood.
Captain, My Captain.
Dead Poet Society.
Dead Poet Society.
Oh,
and then he got cast in this movie.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure that's when I first formed a crush. And then he was in Sports Night.
Wasn't he in like Lawtown, USA for a few seasons?
Oh, maybe
one of those lawyer shows.
One of those lawyer shows.
right?
Yeah, then I start to get fuzzy, but I've always had a crush on this actor, and I think it was forged at a very like crushable time.
Nice.
So it was really nice to remember that. But there was another point. Oh, but the other thing that I noticed this time is just how delightful her boss is in corporate America.
She
Rose.
Wow. Can we just get into Gaw? Like just the
Yeah.
whole
What is GAW again?
Gen-
It's Garment West Apparel or General West Apparel.
General Apparel West.
General Apparel West. GAW.
Gaw.
With the Seinfeld logo.
Yeah.
Yes, it was very strange when they first got to the office and like we just see the receptionist with Gaw behind her.
Yeah, we've got a collection of characters. We've got her unhinged
It's
boss.
like a backdoor pilot for a sitcom.
Yeah.
The whole corporate setting.
Oh yeah, like a Just Shoot Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got her boss who is like very supportive, but an agent of chaos.
Yes.
and very horny.
Yes.
Her boss? No.
I mean, she's
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
she's horny for commitment.
she's horny for Gus to like.
She's horny for Gus, and what do you think that she says? Any woman over 25 needs a cucumber in her house.
She also says
She means for your eyes.
I think she means two things.
She means
I
two
don't
things.
think
She also asked if you ever experienced
any woman over 25 ought to purchase a product.
Not 1991.
I mean,
I agree.
Listen, can we just set the whole cucumber situation aside for a minute?
Okay.
I started out, I just want to talk about her boss. For just a quick
everybody
second.
shut up while Molly talks about exactly what we were talking about, but in a different way.
Thank you. Her boss is just lovely. Like, she breaks a lot of the prototype. She's not like Sigourney Weaver intense. She just really is rooting for things to work out.
Yes.
Like, she really takes a liking to Christina Applegate's character. She really likes all the people she works for. It's just like a different way to play a character that's a boss. And I really enjoyed that, especially for that year.
She's kind of like if my mom were the vice president of a large corporation. She's well-meaning, and she really is like affable and likes everybody and wants people to succeed. But also like it is such a chore to like make sure you know exactly like what she's like, what her thought process is and what she's actually asking of you. Yeah.
She actually.
I need my mom now.
Okay.
Like as like a retired, semi-retired, like.
And I think this time out, she kind of reminded me of my first boss in corporate America, who
Ted
was
Turner?
No,
Mrs. Turner.
no,
Teddy Jr.
no. It had no Turner
This
in
is
the
Teddy
name.
Jr.
Okay, all right. She
Agent Vladimir Putin.
no. Her name is Ronnie, and she was amazing.
Ronnie Turner.
No. And she just really I was so scared when I first interviewed with her because she was like, "You're my daughter's age." And I was like, "Oh no, please let her daughter be the CEO of a company. Please let." And she's like, "She's still finding herself. She's thinking about grad school." I was like, "No, I am a corporate lady. Look, I'm wearing a suit and heels."
Nice.
And I was trying so hard to be like,
You Sue Ellen'd it.
I basically was Sue Ellen, only I was probably 23. I think I was 23 when I first got my corporate job. But anyway, she hired me and she was great. She was so supportive. Like at one point I was like, I think I need to fly to 4 different cities to train people up on this process. And she's like, okay.
Huh.
And let me and this coworker fly all over the country and meet with people and do all this stuff. And I look back on it and I'm like, wow,
That's
what
wild.
a leap.
Yeah.
But anyway, she was great and she was an incredible mentor. So I think that's probably why I connected a little bit more. Always bringing it back. Did you want to tell a story? Let Molly bring it back to some
Let Molly
Turner-related
let
thing.
Molly pull it back to her professional history.
Yes.
Are we allowed to talk about the characters? in the
Oh,
movie now?
fine.
Rose is, she is like benevolent chaos. Like even like the office, like once you get into the office, it's like, here's your desk, which is already covered in shit. My desk is over there through the archway, also covered in shit. Yeah. The reports that Sue Ellen has to work with are like comically oversized. Like it is basically like the ledger of like a Harry Potter bank, right? It's like a wizard bank ledger, which is just like apparently like what, a monthly report?
QED.
2 weeks?
Quarterly, right?
Quarterly. Oh, is that quarterly economic development?
Yep. That's what it stands
Quarterly expensive
Expense.
Denim.
Denim.
It's a fabric company.
And then
Makes
we
sense.
have Gus,
Holy shit.
who is a sex vampire.
Is a creep.
Vampire.
I don't understand why he's a
At
vampire.
one point, he puts his hand over his chest and he wiggles.
His finger wiggling is so disturbing.
His whole physicality is I wrote down he is like a business Ace Ventura. Like he is so wild because he's so gross, but he's such a just cartoonish imp about. I don't know.
The actor does the most incredible.
The actor is
creep work.
crushing it.
He was creepy. Like he gets real creepy.
Yeah.
But then we knew he was creepy in the first scene where he doesn't really do anything.
look.
It is just the way he makes eye contact is ooh.
Yeah. He's got a little bit of a Nick Cage mania to him.
Yes.
Of just really going for it.
Yes.
But everything's this. He's creepy and playful and
It's
in a.
Yeah, it's on paper he is just a straight up threatening, past HR nightmare.
Yeah.
But like the way he plays it is just sort of like, oh, we're just friends. Let's just talk about if we maybe just had casual sex right now.
Yeah, if you want. If not, oh,
If
that's
not,
fine
I'm
with
just
me.
kidding.
Let's go to the symphony.
Right? Yes, he does. Oh my God! Like, yeah, he has just like these weird little like. He's like, yeah, he's almost like it's like there is a wild animal wearing a human suit in there,
Yeah, like an egg or something.
right?
It's like how snakes are unsettling because you can't really like predict how they're gonna move.
Yes, that is totally it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Too wiggly.
yes.
Yes.
He's in a
He does a
potential.
great job too of being just believable enough.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you're just like, yeah, that guy could make it pretty far.
Especially in like 1989, 90.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh,
'Cause, like,
super creep.
Because he's never
Well done though.
Yeah, because he's never like. I mean, he's never like overtly hostile, right? He's never like forcing himself on someone in like the way you would picture it. Like he's certainly like invading people's personal space and definitely like way too comfortable. Like he's way too comfortable just talking to people about wanting to have sex with them.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, like the most horrific thing he did is still like a cartoon character where he's like, they're at lunch or whatever. And Christina Applegate kind of fucks up and sort of like makes some mention of like, I don't know, something about her like high school or something or right. And then he's just like,
martini
oh no,
thing.
she's like, oh, women don't like to ask like their age to be asked or whatever. And then he's just like, oh, women as they get older, they mature, they ripen, juices start flowing.
I thought it was like, oh, that's a creepy innuendo. And then he goes further.
keeps going.
It keeps going.
Yes.
Oh,
I can't remember what he says next because I
after
blocked
the
it out.
Juicy. Oh,
Yeah, I think after juices start flowing, we all just sort of like blacked out for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like I wrote down like Gus. What did I say? Because it's like this is how I felt by the end. I was like Gus sucks, but also rules. Because like the actor is so bananas and so fun to watch him be just like the weirdest coworker.
I think part of it is that he is such a caricature of that kind of stereotype. He
Yeah.
never like crosses a physical boundary.
yes, right. That's
And so
what it is.
it's like
Yeah.
he doesn't feel predatory.
Right.
He just is like, ooh, he's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
was
don't
thinking
know.
about him compared to, was it Mannequin? Where
Yes.
she had,
the foreign guy.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Who's just like, oh, why don't you just bang it out? No, wait.
Yeah, like that guy was maybe a little more menacing. I feel like he had some physicality
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
him. Whereas this guy is like, I don't think ever
Touches
her, right? Which is
Right?
like not.
power dynamic is super messed up.
For sure.
I don't want to ever sound like it's fine,
No.
it's good, but it's like it's a
It's-
more unique flavor of office creep than you
Yeah.
normally see.
Yes.
It's also like it's like because it's a teen movie, it's like here's what office creeps are like for teens.
Right.
Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? In a way where it's like
the
Yeah.
sanitized
Yeah.
version of
Yeah.
Office
Like what a
Creep.
teen would imagine. It's like when you watch a teen do improv and they're doing an office person and they're like, "Hey, I'm chewing on a cigar."
I mean, I still
Everybody
do.
work faster.
And only teens do.
Yeah, it's only
yes,
only
none of us have ever done that.
inexperienced teens do a cliched cigar
None of
chomp.
us have yelled business.
Certainly not
No, that's
on this
child,
podcast.
child things.
Yeah, Gus-
Who else is in the
Oh,
office?
the jealous receptionist
Yes,
who
we
was
have our
very condescending and mean.
yeah off-brand Parker Posey
Yes.
is the
What's her name? Christina? Catherine?
Oh, Carolyn.
Carolyn.
Is the character's name.
who like
Yeah.
wants the job that Swell gets.
Which, to be fair, like,
That would suck.
she is honestly like kind of in the right to be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
'Cause
Rose hates her because she's a grump.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Rose is clearly just like a good witch of the East or wherever they're
Yeah.
from, wherever Glinda's from.
Yeah. And then Carolyn's got her bud, Bruce, played by David Duchovny,
Oh, it was David Duchovny's like first role.
He is wearing
the most 90s.
He is wearing like a shirt that is essentially the backdrop for the titles to In Living Color.
yeah.
His hair is like not quite a mullet.
It's like a slick back mullet.
It's like a
Not
it's like
yet a man.
yes. It's like just it's very voluminous, but it's still like severely combed
and
back.
then the 90s suit jacket with sleeves pulled
It was
up.
like a suit jacket that they had bought for a linebacker, and then just because the shoulder pads didn't even start until the edge of his shoulders. You know what I mean? They weren't like on his shoulders.
Yeah.
He dressed like how I imagine her younger brother with the girlfriend would dress as an adult. Because her younger brother is wearing, like when we first meet him and he's just like flirting with his girlfriend, like he is wearing like the most sleeve, right, of any character in the movie.
Yep.
And he is like head of inventory, and she's mean to him once because he's kind of mean to her. But then he's like, we got to get her, and they scheme.
Are they a couple?
I think so.
Unclear.
Okay. He might be my MVP simply for at the end of the movie, which I know we will get to and talk about in great detail. But there was a moment where he and Carolyn feel like, haha, we've done it. She's ruined. And they look at each other, and David Duchovny just goes, yes. And like he pumps his fist in the most like subtle, barely in frame way.
No, it crushes.
Like it's almost like he improvised it, but wasn't confident that the director would be okay with it. So he just kind of like,
I got him the Mulder role.
that's what kind of the mother.
Oh, and he also, every time he like cracks his neck in a weird way.
yeah.
It was so weird.
And I it kind of reminded me of Men in Black, when the guy's like in the Edgar suit.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe he's an alien from X-Files already.
So,
what I mean?
okay,
Could be.
so what I think we established is the canon of this movie now is that all the men who work at GLAW are in fact otherworldly creatures in human skin suits.
Yeah.
I would like anyone who works at GA, honestly.
Honestly, yeah, Rose.
Rose is like
Rose-
a benevolent,
Yeah.
interdimensional creature.
And then
Yeah.
the woman that does Sue Ellen's work for her.
Oh, yeah, Kathy.
She is so sweet. She's a great character
She's
actress. I
great.
can't remember her name right
Yeah,
now.
I can't either. She's the receptionist in Twin Peaks, and she's like my favorite part of that show.
Yeah,
She's such a goofball.
So great. But yeah, she everybody's kind of an oddball.
Oh, and the guy who like is weirdly present a lot in like the manufacturing wing,
Franklin?
but like doesn't actually have that many lines. Like it
Oh,
almost feels like they
Franklin.
cut his role down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
Because he's just like very like prominent, like, they set him up. He's like very distinct looking from everyone else on the scene, but like he doesn't talk that much, right?
I feel like they just needed a person to anchor the reason she was exposed to all of the stuff they made so that she could become inspired.
Yeah, and they needed to show that she was good at talking to all the people.
Oh, right.
She
That
goes
she had
down
some
and
skill.
like comforts Franklin.
So there's like a cut 30 minutes where Franklin is like showing her the ins and outs of like manufacturing uniforms and
Yeah.
like how to cut patterns. And,
Yeah.
Telling her about his hopes and dreams. He
my
seemed very
wife!
sweet. He seemed very,
He
very
did
sweet.
seem sweet. But he also, I would accept if he were just like some sort of reptilian in a human skin
Yeah,
suit.
for sure.
Yeah.
sure.
All the characters, like, they're, except for her, there aren't any really, like, regular characters.
No.
They're all kind of at a 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's wild because, like, I think that's part of the reason that David Duchovny's performance stands out so much is because he's bad at it.
Yeah.
And, like, everybody else is so good at it.
Like I guess he's being weird, but almost like he should have been weirder.
Yeah.
Right?
Or it's like he's in some uncanny valley between unbelievability and silly.
Yeah.
Like, it's like he doesn't deliver his lines in a believable way from a silly person. He just sort of tries to be a silly person and say the words.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I've never gotten booked on any feature film, so I'm not trying to be overly critical, but I'm just saying it really stands out that this is his first thing, right?
Yeah.
And how is
Yeah.
he so good as Mulder? Like, what happens?
Different suit.
It's the suit.
It's the suit.
That makes
He
sense.
could act with those shoulder pads.
Real quick.
Weighing him down.
Real quick. I glanced down at my notes and I just remembered at one point when Christina Suellen is when she's avoiding her actual crush, who is the little brother of Carolyn, the receptionist who hates her, she hides into the nearest office, which is of course Gus's office, who he then of course immediately takes to me like, "Gnau,
Yeah.
we're down." But then he also, again, this is why he's such a weird cartoon. It's not even like you would expect a creep in a movie like this to be like, "Oh, let's have sex in my office." No, it's like, "Oh, we'll go to wherever this weekend. I'll fly. I've got my pilot's license." Who are you, Gus?
Yeah. The other thing that makes him kind of a deviation from your standard office creep is he never really reacts angrily.
No.
to all of her rebuffments, right?
No.
Like that's the more standard way of like, no, Gus, you're a creep, and then he gets mad, but he's like, it's all cool with him. Like, he's so chill about being a creep.
Like he literally
getting rejected.
He literally says when they're at lunch, like, or if you don't want to, just kidding. It's like,
yeah, he still sucks. I want to make sure everyone knows he still sucks. He just captured my imagination.
yes,
Because he's a sex vampire. Yes, I maintain it.
I'm with you. I agree. He is a sex vampire. He's an incubus.
That's right.
That has found himself in.
Oh, that's why you were showing me that.
Did you? Did you not understand why?
Wait, what?
When had an incubus moment together.
When Dan said he's a sex vampire, it's like, oh, like a succubus. I'm like, what's a male succubus? And then I looked it up, and it's incubus. And I said to Dan, I
like the band.
Yes, and because it's like band, I showed it to Dan and said I have to turn in my Turn of the Millennium teenage boy card.
I just thought you were looking up bands, and then we started singing "Pardon Me While I Burn."
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, incubus is a male sex vampire demon creature, and that's what Gus is what we're saying.
Sure,
but he's like clearly acclimated to the world of 1990 Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as he needs to.
Yeah. It's the perfect place for an incubus.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you know what, though? Okay, so let's talk about the corporate structure for just a second.
Sure.
So,
Of Gaw?
Rose
It makes no
is the head
sense.
of operations.
Vice president of something operations,
But she's doing sales meetings, and Gus, who's the head of sales, is just sitting on his hands?
Unclear what he's doing.
Like, why is she having to save the whole company?
And also, for some reason, Swell is an executive, even though she's an executive assistant.
Yeah.
She makes $37,000.
$37,500.
Yeah, man.
How much do you think that was?
That's a hot deal in 1990.
Yeah, that's
Especially for a 17-year-old. Goddamn.
Yeah, I mean.
But then she discovers
Taxes.
the internal ripoff service.
That's right, the tax man. Old Ronnie Riggs taking her hard-earned money, even though he was desperately trying to not do that, but also not give it to her, to give it to only the people who own the company.
That's right.
Oh, he's a monster.
Yeah.
All right.
She thought she was going to get a big old check, but instead she got $735.
Oof, rough.
It's like $83,000 today.
Damn.
That is something.
Yeah.
That is a great entry level
And again, like she's raising 4 children. That's right. It's still like she
For
has
2
to
months.
for 2 months. She's got to stretch it out.
I do love that she just takes her resume directly from a book. That is so good.
Yeah, and because Rose is not from this plane of existence, she's just like, wow, you're so qualified.
You're
and
from
just
Vassar?
doesn't
Great.
question it. Yeah, I think I said out loud at least half a dozen times, she is the luckiest teenager in the world because she just keeps, as you said, Forrest Gumping her way.
Failing upward.
Oh my God.
Really?
Like literally character actor lady whose name we can't remember, he comes in and just like, oh, I don't have a lot to do right now. And she's like, do you want to do this incredibly cartoonishly giant report for me? And she's so excited. Boom. Problem solved.
And Rose always sees the good. So no matter what Carolyn thinks she has her on,
Yep.
you know, she's like, oh, great delegation.
I don't really understand why she just like completely dismissed she's a 17-year-old girl. Here is her ID.
I think she was just like, this is just so petty. This is just a really petty time and place and way to tell her, right? Because it's not just a dig at Sue Ellen, it's really a dig at Rose.
That's true.
And I think that's what Carolyn did not factor in.
Yeah.
But I also, or is it okay? Are we talking about the ending now, or should we do any of the middle?
I mean, I do want to talk about Kenny.
Yeah,
We got to
can-
talk about the siblings.
I mean, okay. Let's talk about the little ones first because they're easy because they're just like there for one scene to be like, haha, kids are chaos.
Yeah.
So
they're there to be taken care of.
there's Zach, who's the
Lovelorn.
Zach is the guy with the girlfriend. Who's
Yes.
like, oh, she might leave me for Jacob.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's his
Cynthia
whole
or
thing,
something.
and he buys a diamond with the petty cash.
Which is just like, oh.
Over, I don't know if we said it, but
no, we
she
didn't.
basically spends all of the petty cash, and that's why they have to really hustle to not get found out that they embezzled a shitload of money.
Yeah.
$3,000.
Is it only 3,000?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a
it's
lot.
for a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, they spent part of it on bodacious ice sculpture. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Then we have
Walter,
who's the little one who's obsessed with like game shows,
He
right?
loves TV,
On
and
TV.
He's a quizoid.
He's a quizoid, as his older brother calls him, which is Wow.
And he falls off the roof, breaks his leg.
Well,
which
hold on.
gets
Let's
us
talk
to-
about why he falls off the roof. He
Okay.
falls off the roof because he takes some of Swell's petty cash to buy a state-of-the-art entertainment system, which apparently in 1990 is like a very large shelf with like a 20, maybe 24-inch TV at the top, a shelf dedicated solely to, I assume, blank VHS tapes.
Yeah. A lot of
VCR.
audio equipment.
Yeah, what else? There was
Like a
every
receiver.
Yeah.
Listen, that was the
Probably
thing.
it.
You got a tower of stuff.
I guess the CD changer they used at the party, that must
Yeah.
have been from that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still, wow. That's like his one thing. And then he's like, oh, it doesn't work.
And instead of helping him like a good big brother, Kenny ignores him
Hanging with his burnout friends.
He was getting high on marijuana.
Marijuana. We'll talk about it.
and eating too many snacks that Sue Ellen is having to provide through her hard work.
So Walter goes up on the roof himself to try to fix the antenna. They have, I don't know, old shingles. He falls, and I believe, as somebody bet in the first half, he has a threatening moment
Yep.
that brings the children to Responsibility Town.
Mm.
You're welcome. But before Kenny ever even got close to the gates of Responsibility Town, he was living a life that I feel like we must explore.
Yeah. Well, we forgot about the younger sister.
Oh yeah, Melissa. Well, yeah,
She just wants to be able to play sports.
that's right.
She just wants to
She
play
just needs
baseball. And be her
someone.
own
She
self.
just needs someone to fucking take her to Little League to sign
Sign
her up.
at
Yeah.
11:30.
She
Yeah.
doesn't spend any of the cash, right? She doesn't really
No.
cause any problems.
I don't think so.
She might have bought something, but I don't think it was
I don't think
anything
so.
very
Yeah.
memorable.
She just wanted to. I mean, she was sort of just presented as like, oh, she's the weird kid because she was. We introduced to her just like
the girl
torching
who wants
cockroaches
to-
with a magnifying
Oh,
glass.
yeah, she was
Oh,
She's the one
yeah.
that suggests they bed the babysitter
Yeah.
to fit her in the
Okay.
trunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But after that, she just kind of hangs out. It's just like, I want to play baseball. That's
She
like her
just
whole
needs to
deal after
vent
that.
some energy.
Yeah.
Hey, sports are good for that.
Good for her. Then
All
we
right,
have
Zach, the eldest brother.
Kenny.
Kenny?
Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Kenny's
Kenny.
the oldest.
That's right. Kenneth by the end.
Yes.
Kenny, big time burnout. He's
Yes.
got friends who are named, I think.
Oh, I wrote them down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if I get him. Lizard.
Yep.
Hellhound.
Yep.
Mole.
Yep.
And
Roach?
Roach? I don't know the last one.
What's the first letter?
S.
Snake?
No.
No. Satan.
Snorty.
Sleepy.
wish
Slinky.
it was Snorty. Skull.
Sloper.
And then I'm pretty sure
Take it
because at some point when they're getting high and getting the dog high instead of helping Walter set up the entertainment system,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure one of the kids calls Kenny Scruff.
Oh.
They're eating his Belgian waffles. He's like, oh, Scruff. Maybe you could do some more of those chocolate caramel mocha, whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that's his nickname in the gang of burnout public urinators.
Yeah. But they
Who are
get-
like, we'll stay in school forever and not do anything with our lives.
Yeah, they're getting bad grades. They're smoking marijuana. They're listening to rock and roll music.
Oh, yeah. We know this because they say it's rock and roll multiple times throughout the movie,
They call someone Metallica breath.
which makes zero sense. What does that even mean?
It seems to me like like somebody wrote that character using AI before AI knew anything.
Yeah, it was like, you're right. That felt like some producer came to like the youngest page at the studios, is like, Jenkins, you know how the kids talk, right? And he's like 32, right? He's just like, okay.
Metallica
there,
breath.
ride the lightning. Am I right?
Yeah.
Oh man, the script is so solid though. It is so good. There's some real bangers in there.
There were some. I feel like Kenny had a couple of real good zingers
Yeah.
throughout the film.
But his arc is he, like, after Walter breaks his leg,
Yes.
he, like, has a moment of, like, I should have been there for you.
Yes.
Because his job was to take care of the kids.
Yes.
That's
'Cause-
what they flipped the pizza for.
Yes.
One gets a job, the other takes care of the kids.
Yep.
And then I think I actually appreciate the pacing of his arc because
Me
he
too.
still is, like, a little bit of a shit when, like, they're talking about where'd the money go. And he's, like, giving his sister crap.
Yeah.
But then he starts watching Julia Childs on TV during
Hell
the
yeah.
day and essentially learns to cook.
Hell yes.
And like you see his waffles go from like burnt pieces of crap, but he's like proud of them to like
Yes.
beautiful waffles, to be
Yes.
honest. And he like prepares the whole dinner for the giant fashion
Which we'll get
presentation,
to.
cuts his hair, goes by Kenneth.
Yes. We should mention, for Beth's sake, that the house that Kenny keeps until before his transformation
Oh my God.
was maybe the most stressed out Beth has ever been.
It's just there's garbage everywhere. Like they haven't cleaned anything at all.
No.
And it's confusing because there's a point where they're talking about like, you haven't done your chores, but it's like nobody's done their chores.
Clearly.
You know what I mean? It's not like it's just like a one day thing where that's what happened.
I was so impressed by Sue Ellen's patience with the situation.
Oh my God, right?
That she just doesn't even bother with that much exasperation and just moves on.
Just got to make
really
that money.
Gives them the room to grow into what they need to do, right? Because she's not like, they're not doing it because they got yelled at by Sue Ellen.
Right. No, it's because she's a good mom.
She's such a better mom than her mom.
Yeah. And we get the sort of the peak of their We Are the Parents Now arc where Swell and Kenny.
This was genuinely LOL.
I loved
it so much.
Good.
They have like a classic husband-wife combo of like, I'm not appreciated at home. You didn't even say how good the house looked.
Yeah, you should have called. You're 3 hours late.
Dinner's burnt.
Yeah.
The kids are already in bed.
I already fed the kids. I would have planned dinner differently if I knew you were.
Swell's like, well, I've been working all day, and she goes there. I have to go through gridlock traffic and blah 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 blah. And they both play it beautifully.
So good. I think
it's like pretty straight.
Yeah.
Like this is, you could see this in any generic drama or TV show, but it's children and their siblings.
Yeah, I think my favorite line is when Kenny's like, "You're the one with the car, and we never go out anymore." That was fantastic.
And then they get to the end of like understanding each other and like they are a team.
Yeah, it's weird because that's the scene where, like Beth was saying, like that's where it seems like with how movies work, like they'd be like, "Oh, that's why mom's so whatever." But no, they're more or less like, "Yeah, this sucks for us specifically."
Yeah.
And then good button on that scene too, because he's like, Kenny is angrily fluffing the pillows
with
on
the
the
whisk
couch
broom
and whisking the couch.
Oh my God.
And Swell's like, yeah, I didn't even ask you to whisk the couch.
Yeah.
And he just goes like mildly defeated. It needed to be whisked. It's like he's really internalized keeping house as like found its own intrinsic value.
Yes, but
this movie's deeper than I would have imagined.
Yes, but at the same time, let us circle back in corporate terms to the main impetus for why they suddenly must keep house. And that is that Rose, probably because she, for some reason, was the head contact for that sales bid. Mm-hmm. It fails. It's rejected by the school board. Probably, again, because for whatever reason they gave Rose the job of being the lead on that, and she is a chaos agent.
Hold please. Rose was blinded by ambition because she loves things and she would love for things to work out, and she thought that it would.
Yes.
But Christina Applegate, Sue Ellen's character, tried to be like, hey, kids don't like wearing uniforms. She foresaw that even if Rose got the superintendent to sign off.
Superintendent of schools.
Superintendent of schools.
Yes.
Yep.
All of them.
Not specified.
Non-elected, I assume.
And of course, the kids catch wind of it and have huge protests.
Stage a protest.
Including burning uniforms, which is very funny. But I don't know. I'll just say, okay.
What?
Okay. Right.
There was going to be a sentence there, and I just gave up.
I'm not saying she's bad at her job. I'm saying that shouldn't be her job.
That's fair.
Although she is kind of bad at her job.
But because she fails, she comes back to her office in a panic.
That's her.
And
We're shutting down.
just like, are they M&Ms?
Yep.
I think
She
so.
just starts eating
Well,
M&Ms.
That's
and then
after she aggressively packs all her houseplants into a cardboard box.
It's like, okay, that's a little bit, premature.
Yeah.
Then so she starts slamming M&Ms. There's a whole bunch of scenes that happen, and then we cut back and she's still eating.
Which means that she picked them all up back from the floor, put them back in the jar, and is now just sort of like
Eating them one by one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. But then we get the most mind-boggling and maybe the longest montage I've ever seen in a movie. It is, so basically, she says, like, you go talk to the people, you go talk to Franklin, you're so good at talking. I mean, she's basically saying, like, you're so good at talking to the peasants downstairs, right? And then she goes down there, and she is inspired by the various fabrics and colors of the various uniforms that Gaw creates. And she's like, what if we combined them and made fashion? And then she apparently takes her boss to lunch and gives a great proposal. And the boss said, this is great. Let's do it. Then we just get this like ever-present sequence of, oh yeah, she's like, oh, we'll do it at my house, which I don't remember why she has.
Otherwise, she has to pull
because she has
money
no petty
from
cash.
cash. She's got no petty
That's
cash
right.
left.
Yes, she has no petty cash to rent the thing. The ballroom, whatever.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I'll do it at my house. It's lovely. Then we get this insane montage where she's being a fashion designer and apparently crushing it.
Yeah.
But then also Kenny and all of his burnout friends are apparently incredibly skilled contractors.
Yes.
They're out making an ice sculpture is the peak.
And it was righteous.
Bodacious ice sculpture. But they're doing like full-on carpentry,
Yes.
repainting
The
exterior of the
children
house.
are painting the house. The children are like skim cleaning the pool.
Yeah,
Yes.
and they refilled the pool. It
Yes.
was empty.
They needed that cool runway for the
Yeah,
fashion
no,
show.
and it's good that they had it.
Yes.
Just like, it's a lot of work.
It's
that they
amazing
do.
that I didn't even know they had a pool until that scene.
Yeah, it's a nice house.
It was unclear.
It keeps
I just want to
going.
say
Yes.
that situation rings true.
Which
For
part?
at least my high school experience, that the people who were smoking a lot of pot were also the people who bought houses for $30,000.
Yeah.
Totally refurbished them and then started flipping houses and became like land baron, like very successful contractors.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Smoke weed,
you know,
kids.
Smoke weed every day.
okay, teens.
Oh, speaking of the teens, Christina Applegate looks very cool smoking cigarettes.
Yes.
She's smoking so many cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
In
Like,
front of her mom.
right in front of her mom.
In front of her boss.
Yeah.
In front of David
Gus.
Duchovny and Gus. It's 1990, baby. 1991. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
She's 17. She can buy them.
Is that true? In 1990?
I
Whatever?
think so. Yeah.
New York. No, they're in
No,
Los Angeles.
LA. No, I'm pretty. I mean, yeah, I think it wasn't like 16 or 17
don't
to buy
know.
cigarettes.
I've only lived
Could have
here.
been 18.
Local reference.
At any rate, yeah, no, she really. And you know, at first you're like, man, her mom has just really given up that she's not saying anything about the cigarette, which may also be true.
Sure.
But it also kind of helps you think, okay, this is part of how she pulls off, like looking put together and having a manicure and being very good at smoking.
Yes, she looks ripe. Her juices are flowing.
Yuck!
Disgusting.
And you know, she was 18 when this
Really?
was filmed. Yeah.
Oh, weird.
She's great.
She does so good.
And
She's
she like carries the whole film.
She's
man.
great.
She's got Riz.
She's got
Am I right, teens?
I think so. Smoke weed and tell us if we said that right.
You know what I learned today?
What?
It stands for charisma.
Whoa,
Yes.
whoa, whoa.
Didn't know that.
Fun fact for
I'm an old lady now. A nice old lady.
inside.
It's
Inside.
died of natural conscious. Babysitter's dead this whole time. Never addressed again the entirety of the movie until the very end.
Yeah.
Well, but they did like one thing I did appreciate this movie is that they take her to a real mortuary
I genuinely assumed before we started the movie they were just going to like bury her in the
I thought they
backyard.
or
were
put her
as
in a
well.
freezer or
Yeah.
something awful.
And then I just remember that she has a car that they use briefly
Oh yeah.
until it is stolen by drag queens.
That never comes back.
No, it's
Liza Minnelli is driving.
Yes.
And then there's
And-
definitely Marilyn
Marilyn
Monroe.
Monroe.
And I don't know if that was Dolly Parton or someone
We'd
else.
have
I
to
couldn't
freeze the
quite
frame,
catch
But
Yeah.
it.
Kenny runs out and yells something like, "The damn queens are stealing our car."
Those are those. I think someone even says like, "Are those drag queens?" And they haven't touched the car yet.
Yeah.
So we're like, "Oh, that's a weird line." And then like, "Oh no, they are in fact drag queens."
like I was trying to figure out if it was 90s homophobia,
I
like
don't
that,
know.
like associating that with crime in a way that is like,
The teen
What?
version of that.
like what are you talking about?
I think my vibe was like it was just a very LA thing
Yeah.
for very glamorous people to want an old glamorous car.
Sure.
I mean, it was a funny visual to have,
Yes.
like Liza Minnelli stealing a car.
yeah, being like, "Let's roll." And
And then you get the line, what are we going to tell the police? Liza Minnelli stole our
Yeah.
car, our Buick. It's not even our Buick.
it's great.
Yeah, it really leads to a lot of problems. So it was a creative way to get rid of the car.
Yes, it certainly
It was
was.
creative, yeah.
It certainly was.
And they have to get a ride from Clown Dog.
Oh,
Brian.
Dog.
Well, I want to talk about the grunion briefly. Brian
They're meat cute.
/ Clown Dog.
More like MEAT cute. Am I
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Oh,
respect
yeah,
the
you're
meat.
That's on the wall of Clown Dog. Amazing.
Clown Dog's like a burger place.
He basically asked her by saying like, "Oh, there's a grunion run tonight," which is the most insane piece of dialogue I've ever heard in my life.
They meet each other at the Clown Dog.
They work there.
They work there.
Yes.
She
Where
works
she
there
is
for one shift.
Very bad at cleaning
Very
fat
bad.
fats.
Oh, does not understand sloshing.
No. Like, what was she trying to do?
She was trying to pour it on the floor.
It was so
Success.
gross.
I feel like the director was like, okay, so you're gonna wash it, but it's gonna keep spilling.
Yes.
But the way that she was doing was like literally just scooping it out onto the floor and onto her shirt.
She was like the before person in an infomercial, right? Just like, oh, it's
Does
so
this ever
hard.
happen to
Probably
you?
a better way.
This sponge doesn't work at all.
And then she gets no advice from her manager, who's just like, oh, you forgot to put a smile on your face.
Mr.
I'm a
Egg.
Batman villain.
Oh, yeah, he's basically Dr. Robotnik.
Mr. Egg. Yeah.
Dr.
And so
Eggman.
she says she quits and she says goodbye to Brian, and you think, oh no.
Well,
But then they go to where the grunion are running. Grunion
Yes.
are fish who flop
He-
up onto the sand.
and you know this because
Hilarious.
of your time in California?
Yeah, I'm into oceanography, just like Brian.
Brian tells her about this situation.
He explains the grunions.
He
yes.
explains the grunions, which was helpful because I did not know what it was.
No
But
idea.
Sue Ellen knew what it was.
She knew about the grunion, like in a general sense.
He explained the general.
Oh, crikey, the grunion is flopping up.
Oh, the grunions are coming up to the sand. The lady
Point
grunion
break.
comes up and drops her eggs down in the sand, don't she? Then the little male grunion comes up and fertilizes them. They don't have intercourse like we do. I mean, human beings. It's me, Brian.
That's right. Ace date move from Brian.
Ace move. He's
Go
just
out,
like
wear
horny
some
fish.
Flopping fish are fertilizing each other's eggs. Now, it's in the air.
There was an incredible moment of there it is in the air. By in the air, it is, of course, on the shoreline between their feet.
Yeah. And they
okay.
smooch and then
Noise
we,
that it
Now,
makes.
I feel okay. All right, let's just back it up a little bit.
Okay.
Teenage Molly would like to mention that they have the cutest kiss scene.
It's so adorably awkward.
It is
Yes.
so awkward, and it's like there is no further distance on the planet than the distance between you and the person you're about to kiss for the first time. Like it is like a football field
Yeah.
that you have to figure out how to overcome to lean in and figure it out, right?
Yeah,
And this movie deals with that in such the cutest way.
so cute.
It's so sweet. They finally kiss and it's so romantic. And then the camera pans down to their feet.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there are these, I don't know if some intern just throws some fish on the floor or whatever, but there's just fish flopping around
just a
on their bare feet.
Just a sandbar, a horny grunion.
It's so gross.
Those are like dead minnows.
Did they bang?
What?
The grunions are a metaphor for teen sex.
Yeah.
They had sex in the clown dog car.
No.
Yes.
I don't
No.
think so.
I actually don't think so either.
No, but the grunions,
I mean, clearly.
the grunions are banging away.
As much as they can.
Grunions be
right?
banging.
Oh.
Yeah.
It is the itchiest scene. I mean, it goes from being so sweet
Yes.
to so gross.
Yeah, that is the noise it makes. It's so gross.
It's
You think
bananas.
of somebody in Foley going, I don't know what grunions sound like. How about this?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they probably just were like, I guess
But
I'll
there's
just.
no way those were actual grunions who happened to come ashore at that
Oh,
moment, right?
no way. No.
Oh, I don't
Some
know.
intern
Could be.
just
You think
threw
so?
some fish on the ground.
Yes.
I like to believe it was the real grunions. They timed it
they
well
timed it
'cause it's
perfectly.
filmmaking.
The magic
Yeah,
of
it was
film.
I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Somebody with a bucket of water and some grunions in it was off camera
Sure.
and just splashing it at their feet.
Yeah.
Oh, my feet itch just thinking
Love
about
it
it.
so much.
Anyway, it's very romantic.
That noise that you made, by the way, quick tangent, reminds me of the noise that the babysitter makes in the animated opening of the film,
Yes, incredible.
which turns out it is voiced by Homer Simpson.
Fun fact.
Oh, wow.
In fact,
The climax of this movie is the big fashion show sales pitch. Also,
Yes.
meeting at her house. Cleanup is done. Crushed it. All her high school teen friends are going to be the models. Kenny is doing a bang up job.
yeah.
behind the
Audacious ice
scenes.
sculpture.
Younger brother and the little league team are the servers.
Yeah.
Oh, so
the
cute.
the burnouts are the valets,
Yeah.
and they're so good at it.
It's going flawlessly
Flawlessly.
until Clown Dog shows up.
Fucking clown.
Okay, so Clown Dog pulls up in his truck,
Yes.
which plays a tune,
The clown dog.
the Clown Dog tune that we all know,
Yeah.
and especially his sister would know
Mm-hmm.
because he comes and brings her lunch
Yep.
at work every day.
So out of the way.
She would be familiar with the song.
Totally.
it's not until he gets out of the truck that she's like, Brian?
Also, he's talking like over a loudspeaker.
Yes.
Which, why does his delivery car have a loudspeaker? Maybe it also runs ads and it's
Come
like, come to
get your
Clarendon.
hot dogs.
Yeah, maybe they do like a curbside food truck sometimes in front of the big gauze buildings.
Number 14,
Yeah.
come and get your...
Also, their chili is
So
maybe
gross.
the grossest food I've seen in a movie.
Okay.
Good job.
I think
Props.
there are at least 20 people yelling at the podcast right now because we have skipped over the fashion show.
Did we?
Looks great.
No, what? Okay.
All right, podcast over.
What?
Good night, everybody.
Before we get to our final reviews of the movie we just watched,
What? No, you stop. No, there is, it is an incredible fashion show. As a teen, I was like, no one would wear those clothes. That looks horrible to me.
Like any fashion show.
Well, yeah, maybe. But like the way these actors are bringing it, they're doing spins,
The
they're doing
dancing.
kicks,
they're doing so much.
dancing, and like it is so much more than models typically do. And then there's a line that hasn't become popular within my circles, but apparently is very popular and part of it's a cult classic, where she goes, "Okay, Katrina, thank you, Katrina." Because she's trying to rush to finish it up.
Those the models that are happening when she's trying to rush it are the best part because they're like clearly they were they all have a signature dance that they're
Yes.
doing and they're all like still going for it and then they all just like stop as soon as Swell is like, all right, thank you.
And Katrina does give a very good look of like, what the fuck?
I gotta do my move. I worked on this for weeks.
Yeah.
It is so good. And I remember when I was a kid, I was watching, like, Brian professing his love is super awkward
Yes.
and you wish he would hush. But at least he had, or like notice what he's coming up on,
Yeah,
right?
like what the fuck,
It's like,
dude?
oh, is she having a party? It's like, well, maybe just scope out the situation.
Before you're yelling into the little megaphone of your
But
truck.
my real fury is saved for her mom. Because there is no reason for her mom to be like, you're in trouble, young lady.
That's the first thing she says.
Yeah, I said no parties later, and it's like, this is not
Are you
the party
paying
that you're thinking about. Like,
Have you noticed that there's valet parkers
Yeah.
and the pool is
What?
filled
And
and, your
everybody's
house
like
is
40?
painted
Yeah, everyone's an adult.
and they're having like past appetizers and canapes?
They have built a bridge over your pool, Mom.
There's like floating lotus flowers.
Yeah.
There's not enough for me. There's not enough like of that scene of her walking around the house, like
Yes.
being like, "What the? Like, did they paint in here?
Right.
Like,
Or being
what?"
like, why is there a little leaguer with a tray of canapes?
Right? Yeah. Instead, she's just like, "You're in trouble."
Yeah.
Which is just so like a mom. Am I right?
Yes.
Parents just don't understand.
I guess you could. I mean, I guess you could kind of just find it. She's like super jet lagged and it's just like very
also,
disoriented.
she's probably been up all night every night.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
I mean, why is she back a week early? I assume they broke up.
Oh, no.
That's the only reason she would come back. It's not like she was calling her kids constantly or missed them. She hasn't seen these kids in at least 7 weeks. And she's not even like hugging the little ones or like happy to be home.
That's
Oh, crikey, miss. I just don't want to be tied down.
I'm going to go visit my cousin Stu.
Oh, it's me, Steve Irwin. I'm a free crikey.
What?
Free crikey.
Yep, you got
Wow.
Oh, dear.
Oh, the sheep shearing convention's coming. Oh, shit.
I'm turning into.
Okay, all right.
And Ray Eggins.
Oh wow.
it. Bead.
At any rate, the mom.
Go to bead. No, bead. That's more Kiwi anyway.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
And mating. Bead.
Did the car end up with the Gale car?
So there's this incredible role reversal
Yes.
where
Oh.
Sue Ellen basically sends her mom to bed, and only then does her mom kind of notice that things have changed.
Yeah.
Her mom really stinks. Like,
Yeah.
she really is not observant.
Yeah. Also, the youngest kid calls Swell mommy
Yes.
with her mom standing right there.
How would that
Oh, yeah.
not be 1,000 daggers to your heart?
Yeah, like
7 weeks.
I left my family for 7 weeks to go down to Town. Nope.
What?
Trying to merge
Trying to
Pound and
Perth?
Perth.
Oh my God.
Crikey. Will they back? Anyway, I went down to Australia for 7 weeks
Down to Perth?
to get down to Pound Town.
Yes.
And I came back, and my eldest daughter is now the surrogate mother.
Yes.
And is doing a better job than I did.
Crushing it.
Much better. The house was not in order when she left.
No. It certainly got worse
Which
for a
is
while.
like, okay, she's got 5 kids.
Yeah.
Like, it's no one
Totally.
expects that.
No.
They shouldn't anyway, but like, Applegate did it.
Yeah.
It looks good.
And all the kids are getting along. They're all like, okay, I'll go to bed. Like, no one is giving back talk. Smooth running house.
Melissa's not like eviscerating a cat in the backyard or whatever.
She's getting her energy out.
That's right.
Through the magic of team sports.
Oh, and even
And somebody just taking an interest.
And even the burnouts are like successfully running the spotlight,
Yeah.
which is then my other MVP because as soon as mom starts yelling, they cut to spotlight and just goes, busted.
That kid rules. Yeah, the burnouts are incredibly supportive.
So supportive.
Kenny is like saying, I might try in school
Yeah.
again. And his burnout friend is like, why? And then he's like, I don't know. It could be cool
Go
to
to
like
culinary school.
do something. Yeah, go to culinary school. It's like, yeah, that would be cool.
This is
Yeah, that
after,
could be cool.
This is after he was like very much what you'd expect. He was just like, I got a date with Swell's friend Nicole. And he just goes, hot.
The nurse.
Oh, yeah, the nurse.
And he did have a crush on Nicole from the very
Yes,
beginning.
And she noticed once he cleaned up. God damn.
Yeah, she's like,
She was down to flock.
She's
Yes.
Yeah.
she
Well,
will-
especially
a
chef.
Will they bang?
Why? Oh, like a flock of sheep. I get
Yeah.
it.
Oh, got it.
Somehow that was more of an Australian accent than anything that you've done previous.
How dare you?
But then what's incredible is Sue Ellen has all the maturity not only to like get through all that stuff, like she has kind of a breakdown at the microphone
Yes,
and says, I'm so sorry I lied
understandably.
to everyone. I can't handle this. I can't be your hub. It's very sweet. And I long for a time when being a hub was a joke and not like how we actually described ourselves in corporate America. And anyway, so she then like faces the music in turn. She faces the music with her mom, with her boss, with her boyfriend,
Yes.
like all in one night.
And she nails it every time.
Oh, it was
Yep.
so good. It was great.
I think she could do better than Clown Dog.
Oh, for sure.
But I think he's all right.
He'll be good
He's
for
all right.
He'll
but-
be good for the rest of the summer before she goes to college.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's fair.
Try out some stuff.
Yeah. In the back of the clown dog.
Get down to the
Oh,
watch the grunion run.
no.
We're trying so hard.
That's what people love in comedy. It's just a lot of effort.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
Just
Beth
keep going.
Beth will make it sound funny and cool.
I don't know.
Okay. I have a question from the harsh eyes of 2024. Was anyone else when Rose was just like, yeah, I don't care if you're 17. You're great at this. Take the job. And she's like, I might try college. Were you also like, no, keep
No.
the job.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
Don't
thought
waste
that.
your fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, if you're going to get training
You're
on the job,
starting at 37.5 and
Yeah.
you're 17.
go.
Just go for it.
Yeah.
But I feel like Rose will be her champion.
For sure. I mean,
Yeah.
she
Later in
said
life,
she
too.
like got connections to Vassar.
Just
Yeah.
write her into Vassar.
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Luckiest teen.
Fucking middle class white women in Los Angeles County.
Yeah. There's a lot of
Fictitious
privilege.
1990s. I will say this though, and I mentioned that this is okay if I bring this up during the podcast. So
We don't
Dan
know
I don't know what it is.
Linton,
No way we
Beth
can answer that.
It's very personal. Or did I tell you something in
great
confidence?
story
Guess we're about to
about
find out.
when you were looking for a job.
Uh-huh.
Your dad, was it your dad was like, you don't know yet, was like,
This is me, and it was my brother.
Yeah.
no way.
Hey, at least it was one of us this time.
Yeah. Yes, my dad told my brother just to ride the elevator up and down with a resume and chat up, looking for executives essentially in the elevator.
Which like clearly would have worked in
That's
this
how to get
time.
a job.
This
Yeah.
version of LA,
See,
at
that's
least.
why I think he thought that would work because
Yeah.
maybe it did.
Yeah, the
Right?
roses
These-
of the world.
Yeah.
Few and far between.
Yeah.
Boy, that is so funny. I'm sorry.
Dan and I are different people.
Yeah.
There's a reason I call myself also Dan. It doesn't mean that I am also Dan Jaquette.
Yeah, maybe that was unclear.
Yeah, maybe we have to rethink
There are
the
10 years in, there are 4 hosts.
Wait, what?
What?
I don't introduce myself twice.
listeners. If you thought there was only one Dan this entire time, please call in.
Yeah, there's Dan, and then there's Australian Dan.
Hey.
It's me out in the didgeridoo.
Oh, I'm also Dan. Coming at you from Melbourne.
Oh my God.
Should we take a quick second to see how your bets panned out?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. LA suburbs. Yes. Shoots plate. Dishes are done. Man.
Yeah.
Devastating.
Not
Which I feel like, why pass on that alliteration?
No, yeah,
so easy?
I agree.
Yeah.
Dude is better.
It is much better.
When we remake this movie, we'll use Dude instead.
inevitably.
I think they might have been sensitive because the director was also the director of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And the screenwriters were so nervous this was going to be turned into a silly movie. And they really
It wasn't silly at all.
were scared that when they changed the title to Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, because the original title was The Real World.
What?
And it was supposed to be about Christina Applegate figuring out the real world.
That makes so much more sense.
It does, but by the time this movie, it had the title The Real World for 5 years.
Wow.
And just as it was about to come out, MTV was just about to release this new reality show.
Wow,
Where they're going to stop being nice and start getting real.
Yeah. Instead, they have to kill an old woman.
Yeah. Anyway, but there's a lot of like really dark humor in it, and you can see why, it's very, very funny. Okay. Mom's busy. Business trip, only if the business is.
Getting down to business.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
It's business time.
Old babysitter dies. Yes.
That's New Zealand,
Pizza?
but-
Yep.
I would
you.
say more waffles, but I'll still say
Yeah.
100% Utah.
No pizza.
Dad is
I mean,
not
they flipped
dead.
the
Dad
pizza.
is just out of the picture and probably a jerk. They are not assassins.
We don't know.
we
We
don't
don't
know.
know.
She does go to Australia and she does wear a weird floppy hat. It's not 2 weeks, it's 2 months.
Crazy.
A kid does get injured. There is a charade at some point regarding like hiding that the babysitter is dead. There are not 3 to 4 kids. There are 5 kids. Wow.
Wow.
Skeet Ulrich and Newt are not in this.
No.
There are horny teens. There is no leather jacket. There is a
Disappointing.
boyfriend, but not before all this happens. Bechtel Wallace, yes, all around.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
we all succeeded, like to our dreams.
Although Mom is named Mom.
That's
That's
apparently.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
There's sort of a name check of the movie. There is a fun pooch, by which we mean dog. Elvis, who was so great. And the dog's real name is
Bud.
Bud.
Hey, he's smoking. Bud knows about Bud.
That's
am I
right.
right? They got the dog right.
No to real estate squeeze. Yes to big party. Yes, mom comes home. No nosy neighbor. Yes, comeuppance. Dishwasher, Dan, Dudlin, assassin, pack, unsure.
That's the rating scale.
Austin.
Thank you for updating your notes as
Yes.
we go.
Wow.
That's pretty fun.
That is fun. Another thing that's fun is when we engage with our fans. And we do that before we get to our final ratings of the movie we just watched, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, which I wanted to make a bet about the punctuation, and now here we are in the second half. I don't know what it is, but I don't think there's any.
There are 2 apostrophes, my
two.
friend.
Don't tell.
Don't.
Okay.
Babysitters.
Is that punctuation? I
Yeah,
guess so.
babysitter is.
I was thinking about commas and periods
Yeah.
and exclamation
You're
marks.
talking about the subset, not the superset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh.
we like to turn to Discord, text-based chat platform, and ask questions and comments, which we shorten to Q's and C's.
Yes.
Little peek
To
behind that
save
curtain.
so much time on
So
this
much time.
very short podcast.
Yeah. And we did it tonight with the GIF of Dishes Are Done, man. And
Wow.
here they are.
Wow.
Taylor History asks, so does this movie teach kids how to dispose of a dead body in the future? And how Lord of the Flies does it get? I feel like, it works out to drop the body off, but it shouldn't.
No.
That's not a good plan.
No. I mean, I guess it's okay. It's probably still a better plan than burying it on your property.
No,
Yeah.
but their first idea was the best one, which is to call 911.
Right.
That's what you should do if someone dies in your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you are like my friend of mine and your neighbor down the road is an elderly gentleman, you walk up to my friend of mine soon after she moved in and said, can you come check? Can you come help me? I think my wife is dead. And then you get to be the one to call the police and the ambulance.
Way. Oh, how awful.
Yeah.
Wow, way to bring the podcast down.
Yep.
What? Old people die.
That's true.
Listen, I will say this.
My friend was very good natured when she told the story. She was just
that's
like,
great.
"Yep, she was dead."
Wow.
Hey, it's a normal part of life.
Yeah.
That's intense. Speaking of what's normal, I would say in 1990, entirely possible for the police to show up and be like, this lady passed away. Was she your grandma? And they could say, sure. And they'd be like, great.
All right.
And move on.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they'd be calling Child Protective Services. But anyway, neither here nor there.
They don't
Listen,
know.
kids, just call 911.
Well, if someone dies in your house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. But don't call 911 on other people.
Yeah.
Unless you've
It's
really
complicated.
thought it through. It's complicated. But listen, if someone dies in your house, call 911. Don't move the body.
Well, it's not really an emergency at that point, too. You can call a non-emergency number.
That's true.
Was that like
You
511?
look it up.
411? Not 411.
Call the
it's
operator.
You're 17-year-old. You could figure out how to look it up.
Yeah.
Hey Siri.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just tell it to your home pod and then I'll send the drones to pick it up.
Yes. The Bezos drones will come and bring the body to the mortuary.
Did you know that bees have like little morticians? Or not morticians, but like little like bees that take dead bees out of the hive?
Coroners?
That's their
They
job?
have like little coroners.
Whoa.
All the bees have different jobs.
Bees
and
are
there's
so
some
fucking
coroner
cool, man.
bees.
Bees are cool.
Respect the bees.
Much better than
But not
Bezos.
Bezos. Thank you. Yeah, he's a clown.
Clown dog.
He's a clown dog. How Lord of the Flies does it get? Not at all.
Not too much.
These kids aren't trying to kill each other at all.
No.
But in some ways you could argue it was more Lord of the Flies before the mom left.
Yep.
That's the real story here.
I mean, that kitchen was Lord of the Flies.
Lord of
They're
the
probably
There are
Oh,
flies.
there's
the
so
kitchen
many
flies,
flies.
house flies, Lord of the house flies. More
Yeah.
like, am I right?
You
Up
are
top.
right. Yep.
You're right.
Up top. High five. And
all
we're all high
around.
fiving.
Fra asks, is this Weekend at Bernie's? Spoiler alert, never seen either movie. For the hot teens, no.
Nope.
I was.
There's no amount where they have to pretend the babysitter's alive.
The only,
Zero amount.
literally, all they have to do is mom calls, Swell says, oh, she's on a date. Mom calls again. Candy says, she went to the yarn store. Illusion complete.
Yeah, Yard Store got me.
Me too.
That's a pretty funny dig at an old person.
Good one, but like, how uninvolved is this mom?
Oh,
she
yeah.
just sees and hears what she wants.
She must be paying for those phone calls, right? The fact that she
guess.
allows Kenny to be like, I gotta go, mom, and there's no conflict at all.
back or
Yeah. I hope this is a wake up call for the mom.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care how good that Australian dick is. You gotta step up.
Yeah.
And how did she even? Okay, you know what? Let's just move on.
Yeah. Find some local cucumbers.
Oh,
Carzon asks, how many dishes got done in this manner? This is shooting them with a
Right.
rifle. Why
or
do they have
three.
a rifle?
that's a good point.
Yeah, it's just one scene. It's
Mom is an assassin.
that's why she got guns.
Whoa.
This bit from the trailer is literally all I know about the movie. Hey, me too.
Hey.
Imagine that.
That's weird.
2 or 3 plates is the answer.
Yeah.
It's not a big part. It's just some flavor of like the burnouts are being burnouts.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably implied that there's more plates because that place is just mess.
We get a little bit of a beat later where Swell's like, where are the dishes?
yeah,
And he's like, in the dishwasher. So unload the dishwasher, which maps perfectly to the mom before
Yes.
Cracker Jack script.
Incredible.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because he says like, it's Walter's job or
Yep.
Zach's job
Yep.
or whoever the fuck.
Because she said it's Kenny's job, right?
Right.
Or something.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Great. 2 or 3.
2 or 3. Joshy states, I had an adversarial relationship with authority figures while growing up, so I loved this subgenre of movies where kids outsmarted and defeated adults,
Same.
i.e. The Legend of Billie Jean, The Goonies, Matilda, etc.
The what?
The Goonies.
No, the first one.
The Legend of Billie Jean.
What is
I'd never
that?
heard of it.
I don't know.
She's not my lover, though.
I've heard that.
Oh, boy.
As children, how did the Totes team members rebel against authority for either fun, profit, or justice?
Oh.
Thank you, Joshy. What a Q. What a C and a Q.
What a great cue.
I did not do a good job of rebelling.
No.
Internalized and feared conflict.
Yes. Same.
Yeah.
I do remember once as a very young kid being very mad at my parents, and wanted to fuck shit up as much as like a 5-year-old could, but also not wanting to really do any damage. So I like gently turned over some things in the house and then hid behind a chair. And my mom couldn't find me, and I was like, yeah, she's worried about me. She can't find me, and that was me sticking it to her.
Yeah. Take that, Mom. You love me and care for my safety.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Molly, I feel like you probably got something.
I mean, I for sure did lots of stuff.
You fucked off the Soviet Union for like 12 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would do. My sister was much better at like letting things roll off her back, but I would fight because I would get mad at injustices, which things didn't go that well for me when I did that openly. I remember one time. I mean, I have so many. Okay. Just to give you a picture of how independent I was when I was in I believe the 4th grade, based on where we were living. I was in the 4th grade, and I saw an ad on TV for a ring. It was like a emerald ring. Did I tell you about this? It was like a green stone in a ring, and it was $19.95. And I happened to have
the price or the year?
No, the price.
Okay.
And I happened to have $19.95. And so I called the number and I ordered the ring and I gave it my address. And weeks later, I was at home. I was a latchkey kid and I was watching probably Voltron or like He-Man on TV. Yeah. And somebody comes to the door with a package and he's like, you have to sign for this. I was like, And he's like, you also have to give me $19.95 or whatever it was. I was like, hold on. So I closed the door. I ran and got the money and came back and gave it to him. And he's like, it's okay. All right. And just took the money and gave me the box. And then I was like, what am I going to do with this ring? Because I can't wear it. They're going to ask me. But I held on to it. I put it in a drawer and it was like such a like little like, I can do stuff.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Wow.
It's a good secret.
Back in the COD days.
Yeah, which is wild. I mean, this is a long time ago. You couldn't do that now. But like, I was a little kid with a little kid voice. I see 9-year-olds now. And I'm like, really? Okay.
Money's money.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is also the theme of this movie as well in some ways.
I feel like I mostly rebelled in that. Yeah. I mean, I mostly rebelled in just like refusing to like let my mom in to my life at all when I was a teenager. Right?
Yeah. Emotional rebellion.
Yeah. Like I wasn't very like, I feel like, I don't know. I wasn't very like adversarial with her. I was more just like refusing to give her just like even the barest morsel of like my inner life as much as possible.
But y'all cut classes and stuff though, right?
No.
I did a single time.
What?
I skipped English. My friend said, do you want to skip class and go get lunch or something? I did. I felt I was overcome by guilt. And I had the same, my brother and I were 3 years apart. And so we shared high school for 1 year. And we shared the same English teacher, my freshman, his senior year. And so he asked me in front of our mother how English was that day, because I didn't like my English teacher. She corrected my fiction, my fantasy-based fiction in which I described elves as tall, saying elves are actually very short.
How very dare she?
Like shoemaker's elves.
Yeah. There are different elves, lady.
Still furious about it to
You
this day.
should be.
Read some fucking Tolkien.
Jesus.
Anyway, so he asked me how English was, and in my mind, he was like trying to get me to confess, knowing I had skipped English. And I think he was just asking me that a day. And I couldn't take it, and I broke down and like said like, I don't know, I skipped class. I went with Jeff, and we went and ate a burrito or whatever. My mom was understandably upset, called Jeff's mother, and I believe got Jeff in trouble.
No, Jeff,
come
you
on,
snitch.
be cool, Mom.
Yeah. I was a snitch. I did not get stitches. Jeff was understanding. He was
nice.
like, yeah,
I would have done it too, man.
Like, that's how it goes.
What can you do? My
Jeff
sister and
turned out
I
right.
skipped
He's doing
like
well.
2 weeks of school one time.
Nice.
Wow.
And we just intercepted the phone calls.
Nice. I was like I was like a straight edge Kenny for like most of 8th grade. Like it was very much me and my friends just being like, yeah, what if we just didn't try? And it's 8th grade, so it didn't matter.
I was like whatever the opposite of a rebel was. Like I just like followed all the rules and it caused me so much anxiety. I really like I got along and still get along with my parents. So like I never felt like I had to rebel against them. Sorry.
Wow.
Well, great C and Q, Joshy.
I did turn my life around, and I was perfectly capable in high school and got good grades.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have a high emotional intelligence now too.
Wow.
And that is the end of fan engagement, or is it? We have a review.
Oh,
Which longtime fans will know we read in the impression of a character from the movie we just watched, or anybody that we choose to. Or you can also request it in the review.
True.
Which I don't believe is the case for this one.
No, but I think obviously someone needs to read it in the impression of Tim, the boyfriend.
Absolutely.
Oh, the Australian boyfriend.
Yes,
The Australian
absolutely.
boyfriend.
Can you do it, Beth?
Yes.
What's the
Beth.
wait? Can one of you give me your?
Remember that anything you do will be as
Okay, here.
bad
Crikey.
or better than
This is my
Danny.
best
Steve
Australian accent.
We'll get him when he comes back in.
Stevie wins. Crikey.
Stuck in a space orb from Clinton Road.
Yeah.
Hey gang, hot teen here. Me mom and I recently moved in with my lame stepdad. His house is a giant space orb and he's constantly trying to impress me by ordering cheeseburgers from the kitchen. Like it's such a big deal that he can get the chef to do whatever he wants. We get it, dude. You're rich. My mom is obsessed with this loser. Even though he's super conservative and way too old for her. His skin is super dry, but for some reason his eyes are like wet like a beagle's. Any tips on how to get this old weirdo to leave me alone? Or better yet, how can I convince me mom to leave this bozo? It's gotten so bad that she blew most of my college fund on buying this dude even more orbs for his vast collection of orbs. She really seems to love him, even though he's probably a really bad lover. Thanks, hot teen in space.
Okay, first of all, the best Australian accent of the night.
my
No
God,
question.
so good.
Hands down.
No
Hands
question.
down.
I am not even kidding.
I was trying to do a bad one, and I was like, whoa, it's actually happening.
What are these strange powers I'm
I
experiencing?
mean, it's not great, but it's
I mean,
I mean, the Dan's
We set the
really set the
bar
bar.
Very low.
Very
Relative.
low.
Thank you for that review. Hey, you can do a review like that.
yeah.
I mean, that's a letter from a concerned teen about their orb having stepdad.
Yes.
Who's
Which I
probably Bezos the clown.
It sounds like, I mean, he's a bad lover. We know.
Yes. Yeah, orb lover.
Yeah. What?
Now there's something wrong with orbs. I didn't mean to love her like that. I
Blorb.
meant just
A blorb? What?
Blorb lover. Blorb lover.
Oh, it's me, Reginald Blubblubber. I'm here to marry your mum.
Or just get big from the Eat Big Steakhouse. Here to marry your mum. I love orbs of the blob.
Oh, it's
Blob, blobby, blob.
Blubblubber here. Have you ever heard of the dark side of the Force, have you?
oh my God.
okay. We got to get to our rating.
Okay, anyway, advice for him. I basically show him a bunch of Iron Maiden posters. And
Yeah,
he'll have
apparently.
a heart attack and you're good
yeah.
to go.
What's the guy's name? Eddie?
Huh?
Van Halen?
Better?
No, wasn't it Eddie? Isn't that the skeleton
Iron
guy?
Maiden skeleton guy? Yeah.
Oh, he's got a name?
Yeah,
didn't
I
know
think
that.
it's Eddie. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Show him a bunch of weed posters and boobs and Iron
For
Maiden
some
posters.
reason, the Confederate flag, very weird.
He's an
That is
edgelord
weird.
from the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ugh.
They didn't care then. And by they, I mean white people.
Yeah.
Great. Dishes Are Done, Dude Assassin's Pack, which are Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead themed
Yes.
Assassin's Creed DLC.
Yes.
You turn your throwing knives into dishes.
Yes.
It
is-
get metal hair.
Right. It's very well done. Decades too late tie-in.
Yeah, you're a costume with shoulder pads.
We all know what DLC means.
Yeah, for sure.
Do little content.
Is it loadable?
Downloadable.
Okay, that's what I thought. But
Downloadable.
Bloblever.
Bloblever.
Blublever.
You filthy bloblever.
Check out Blublever. Get the Blublever package for Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh, here we got... Oh, Rupert Murdoch down in Australia. Classic bloblever.
Hey, it's me, Bears Lemon. Check out Assassin's Creed Black Flag DLC. And then check out Australia the series, which I think is a sequel to Australia the movie. I don't know.
I think they are getting better. I think you turned it around.
I think Beth planted a scene.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's a New Zealand accent, but it's fine.
Yeah.
We're trying our best.
We're trying, yeah. Dan, you gave it 4.
Yes.
You don't know about it.
No.
Maybe it's that there's some thin morality, but it's bonkers and done stupid. Doubt stupid.
Some stupid.
Some
I think.
stupid.
Yeah, this movie was not really what I was expecting. I thought it'd be a lot more child shenanigans or there's a dead body shenanigans, and it was not that at all. However, there are so many bonkers choices being made by the actors in these movies, in this movie, and they lean into all of those choices so hard. I had such a good time watching it. That montage actually shattered my brain a little bit.
Yep.
Because
it's very long.
It's very long, and suddenly the whole neighborhood has a surprising level of skill and can carpent and sculpt ice. And I don't know. It was bananas fun time 4.
Bananas fun time 4.
I had a great time.
Great. Beeth. You gave it a 4. You thought it'd be fun. Now you were grumpy about it as a kid because you wanted it to be a cartoon.
Yeah. So I think as we were watching it, my realization was I think this is the movie that we watched. I'm not positive, but I think the reason I was grumpy about it is rated PG-13 and there are swears and boobs and all these things. I was like, I, as a rule follower, did not want to be consuming. I should not have been consuming because I was not allowed to watch PG-13. I was not 13 yet.
True.
Yep.
Oh.
We should clarify.
That's why I was
there were
grumpy.
little decorative skulls on the nipples in the poster.
Yep.
Yes.
Poster boobs.
But they dropped the F-bomb a couple times, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah.
At least once.
Christina Applegate also wears a towel one time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I had problems with that scene because those teenage boys would have been way hornier, and
They were too
not.
high, man.
high.
I guess so.
Dulls the
But-
senses.
Yeah, I guess so. Drugs.
Hey, teens,
Yeah.
Hey,
don't take so much drugs so you can be the proper level of horny.
Right.
So
Yes.
it was so all the characters were so heightened that it kind of made me not like it in a way because I was like, what is going on here? But I did enjoy it for its chaos also. So I'm gonna just go to 3.5.
All right. Accept.
And that's just a down. The half one is like a download that doesn't finish
It's
completely.
like corrupted or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Sure.
So
Wonderful. I am 3rd, and I gave it a 4. I thought it would have a lot of great chaotic 90s energy, which it did. Like Dan, this movie was not at all what I expected in terms of sort of plot and premise, but it was what I expected in terms of sort of energy, 90s energy, which I loved. Yeah, it's such a mess, and everybody does a good job. I'm going to stick with 4. I liked it a lot.
Great.
nice.
Molly, you gave it a careful 4
Yes.
to protect
You
yourself
were
because you were
terrified.
very excited. You were feeling vulnerable because
Yep.
you loved it as a kid.
That's true. All of these things are still true. I really had forgotten what a great job everyone does, what a crackerjack script it is. It was great. Yeah, 5.
Boom.
wow.
Yep.
You are just spending all your parents' money on that DLC.
Yeah.
I for sure
Stealing
am.
money out of the petty cash.
Oi, why is there a credit card charge for $75 at Assassin's Creed? the one that's in ancient Egypt. I don't know the name of it.
Is that the Odyssey's in Greece?
Yeah.
What is that one?
This is all stuff that I definitely get and am interested in.
Troy, what shall we charge us for Clown Dog and Xbox Game Pass?
You've changed your horse into the clown dog car. You drove it over sand dunes.
Hey, all the enemies are that creepy ghost man from the film.
And with that, we're
Wow. All right, podcast over.
Good day, listeners. And by good day, I mean goodbye.
Good boy, it's me, Australia.
Totes Recall is hosted by Molly Chase, Beth Gibbs, Dan Jaquette, and Dan Linden. Produced by Beth Gibbs. New episodes of Totes Recall drop on the 15th of every month. For more information and bonus content, visit us at totesrecall.com. Thank you so much for listening.